So the devil's provocateur himself and the devil's advocate, Scott Challen and Pauline Hanson, have done a podcast together. I'm not even going to watch it. Why? Why would you gaslight yourself into listening to a couple of racist pricks? I'm sorry, but they're racist. They actually are. But they love the Jews. What's that got to do with anything? Let's not get shit twisted. Politics is religion. Religion is politics, not culture. Culture derives from a way of life. Like, what's the Australian culture? Stubby shorts, thongs, tongs, lamb chops, VB stubbies. Ask the rest of the world, that's our culture. Football, meat pies, kangaroos, Holden cars. Nothing to do with race, ethnicity. Culturalism is a problem. It is. But you need to distinguish the difference between ethnicity and culture. See, there are many cultures that'll mix. There are many different base from, well, not many, but there are different base from different ethnicities that mix quite well. Islam and Christian mix quite well until you start throwing religion in the mix. This has got nothing to do, right? They're hiding their racism behind religion. They're hiding their racist ideologies behind religion, which in itself is racist. It is. It actually is. Because apparently all Muslims are bad. They're not Muslims, people. I keep telling you, they're not Muslims. They're Western converts. You've been gaslit. Left, right and fucking centre. Fancy putting them two in a room together. Jeez, the devil would be all over that, licking them both up the inside of the thigh. It disgusts me. I think it's fucking putrid. It disgusts me. I don't have white privilege and I don't have white guilt. I'm just a person. I'm just a human being, just like anybody else. But they don't want us to think that. They want us to think that we're all different because of where we're from. Oh, Muslims are no good, but Jewish are all right. It's not Jewish. It's not Jewism. It's not, what? They're not Jews. They're not Jews in the sense of, we're not talking about a Jewish heritage. We're not talking about Jewish ethnicity here. You must distinguish between the two. Are we talking about Jewish ethnicity or a certain sect of Jewish religion? The Talmudic Zionism. Look up Yeshu acronym. Yeshu, Y-E-S-H-U, and then the word acronym. So I sat in the Google and see what you come up with. They will not even utter the word Jesus Christ. If they do, they go into it. They go into some kind of a malfunction. I'm now convinced that Scott Challen is You're actually Lennon's mate, working for Shield Corp. Just like Avi Yemeni is. I've now gone from we shouldn't vote from Pauline to she should be thrown into fucking back into prison if she ever even went into one. This is why I washed my hands of the Epstein files. This is why I washed my hands of all the bullshit. We have far more important things to worry about. But I'll let Gareth Ike explain a couple of things. He's done another video. Oh, David Icke believes in lizard people. You tell me Pauline's not a fucking lizard. Look at the thing. Really? Yeah, we really want to hear that.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? As you can see, I'm in the Iconic Studios. Now, I had every intention of getting out for a walk today, taking you out into Derbyshire, into the countryside and having a bit of a chat, but it seems that Barbados is welcoming monsoon season at the minute. Now, I'm not bothered about the rain, personally, that's fine, but the camera and the drone, not big fans. Now, what I wanted to talk about today, well, first of all, is to ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Are you buying the Epstein was working for Russia thing? It's laughable, isn't it? I mean, he literally says in the files that he represents the Rothschilds, but all the UK media have jumped on it, and apparently, yeah, he was working for Russia, it was the Russians, everything's the Russians, even the head of Poland has come out saying, yeah, we've got evidence, it looks like. It's like, well, yeah, but you're looking at the same files we're looking at, mate, and we're seeing different evidence. And so it takes me back to that whole Orwellian 1984, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their last most important command. Yeah, well, isn't it just? Because that's what they're asking us to do. Now, if you do believe that it was a Russian thing, Russia was behind Epstein stuff, that's cool, of course. I've got good news for you. It turns out enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Rang off.
I've managed to get my hands on about $20 million off this Crown Prince in Uganda. And all I need you to do, folks, just send me $1,000, right? Just to cover transaction fees, you know, the deal, stuff like that. And what I'll do is I'll wire you the $20 million. Yeah? Nice one. It is laughable though, isn't it? But I'm at a point now where I'm just thinking, they don't care anymore, actually. Like, I was talking about it in a recent video when we were out walking, when I could get out in the countryside. And I was saying, like, they say the quiet part out loud all the time now. And part of that is, I think, trolling. And there's quite a lot of trolling going on. But also, I think they feel so emboldened, the establishment, whatever you want to call them, so emboldened, that they don't care. Like, they'll tell us, whether it be their plans for war, their plans for digital ID, their plans for surveillance, AI, you know, Shababa Mahmood was going on about how she wants the eyes of the state on us at all times. So they just say it out loud, and I think part of the reason, like I say, is trolling. Another part of the reason is, what are you going to do about it, mate?
Exactly.
Like, genuinely, what are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
Like, I told you, and you're whinging about it on Facebook, and you're whinging about it on X, but you'll go along with it. In the end, you'll go along with it. Right?
Exactly.
I think that's how they feel, genuinely. So when I look at these Epstein files, this Epstein file release, lots of people are asking the question, well, why would they release it? Well, part of me thinks it's because they didn't really have much choice. Like, this had rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled to such a point where, to save any kind of credibility and face, they had to give us something, right? They had to quench the thirst of the plebs in some way. And of course it's heavily redacted, it's massively sanitized, we know that. But even from what they've allowed us to see, it's pretty damning and it's pretty twisted, right? So why would they let us see it?
It's probably
Why would they let us see any of it? Okay, like I say, part of the reason is I think they were kind of over a barrel on it. Another reason, and I'm starting to think about this, is this a test of us, a test of our compliance?
Yeah.
Now, if you hark back to the COVID era, they started to introduce a few things here in the UK. Now, Matt Hancock and his, SAGE team and his behavioural insights team, his communists like Susan Michie, they actually said openly that they were shocked by how compliant the British people were. Which is embarrassing, isn't it? But they were shocked at how compliant we were. And when they realised how compliant we were, that's when they upped the ante in terms of other impositions and other rules and longer lockdowns and mask mandates and everything else. Because we'd basically given them permission to do that by being weak and compliant in the first place. If we'd have stood up straight away and gone, no, you're all right, mate, they wouldn't have pushed through what they pushed through. So with that in mind, is that part of what's going on with giving us the Epstein files? Part of it is like, okay, yes, it's redacted, but part of it is, what are you going to do about it, mate? What are you going to do about it? And the test element is that if we do nothing, we whinge about it, we're outraged by it, but we allow ourselves to be gaslit by the media into believing, well, maybe it was Putin then, even though it's an absurd suggestion. Then that then almost gives them permission to go to the next level and to the next phase of what their agenda is, right? Now, let me tell you a story. This is from when I was a kid. This is what I'm getting at in terms of my theory here, and I'm far from the only one with this theory. I've heard a couple of people saying, what's this about? So when I was about 14, I moved around a lot as a kid, right? And so when I was about 14, I left the Isle of Wight where I was, and I moved up to Wiltshire, right? So I started at this school, first day at school. No one knows who I am. I don't know who anyone else is. And to these kids, the Isle of Wight is basically abroad, right? I'm not kidding. So I'm a bit of a, who is this foreign guy who's coming in, right? I was quite tall for my age as well. I went straight into the football team. And as an example of the fact they think the Isle of Wight's foreign, when I would go back to the Isle of Wight to visit friends or whatever, they'd ask me if I could get some duty-free cigarettes for them. They'd ask, do you have cars on the Isle of Wight? I remember being asked that. So I've come into this school as this kind of, who is this guy? Like I say, he's come in, he's quite tall for his age, he's walked straight into the football team. And then on the first day at school, one of the lads that was showing me around comes up to me and says, here, so-and-so, I forget his name, so-and-so wants to fight you. Right? First day at school, what are you talking about? Now it turns out this kid that wanted to fight me was the hard kid at school. Basically, a bit of a bully. Kind of popular, I think, but probably out of fear more than anything else. And even though I was 14, I quickly realised, this is a test. How I react to this will determine what my time's going to be like at this school. So if I go run into the teacher, say for instance, say, excuse me, it's my first day at school and this boy wants to fight me, and they go and confront him, I've shown a weakness and they'll have me for breakfast. If I go up to him, look, please don't fight me, like, I don't want any trouble, I've shown a weakness, they'll have me for breakfast. But then also at the same time, I didn't want to go flying in, and I actually don't want to have a fight on my first day at school, it's not a good look. So what I did is I went up to him, confronted him in the hallway, quite politely, but like, excuse me mate, I've just been told you've got a problem with me, what's that about?
At Tasmania Police, you're part of something bigger. You're part of a team that shows up, steps in, and stands together. From training to the tough days, your contribution...
Want to fight me or something? No. Turns out I passed the test, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, for my sort of 18 months of that school, he was alright to me. But if I'd have reacted in a different way, it would have been a very different experience, almost certainly, at that school. So, would I show weakness? Would I do anything about it? Well, actually, in that instance, yes, I did. I confronted and said, you know, what's going on, and we worked it through. When I apply that story, that anecdote, to what's going on with these Epstein files, is that what it's about? are we at the moment, as a population, basically being offered out for a fight? And how we react to that, whether we go, excuse me, are we going to do something about this? I want to see arrests. Like, it's all well and good, someone like Lord Mandelson, you know, oh no, I don't want to be a lord anymore. Well, that's a punishment, isn't it? Or Prince Andrew, oh yeah, those people don't want to work for you anymore. Okay, what's work? It's not a punishment, is it? So the test is, are we going to accept that? Are we going to accept a few pieces of low-lying fruit, getting their lord's title stripped or whatever, and then we just go back to carrying on, following the rules that are being set by these ghouls that are in these files? Because if the answer is yes, that's what we do, i.e. we do nothing, then they will go on to the next phase of this agenda. They'll say, yeah, I know, we told them, and look at them, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Yeah, move to the next phase. Deploy the new variant. All that stuff. Whereas actually, if we stand up now and go, no, I'm not going to be gaslit into believing it's a Russian plot. I'm not going to be gaslit into believing that this demonic cult and these horrendous actions of cruelty and sheer depravity and evil died when Epstein did, if he did, and that actually it's in the past. Just like we were gaslit here in the UK with the CSA inquiry, the child abuse inquiry. Oh, it was in the 80s. Everything was in the 80s. Was it? Well, it's not going on now. If we refuse to be gaslit like that and we stand up and go, no, I'm not accepting. No, I know what you're trying to do. I understand what you're trying to do. I'm not going for it, mate. I'm not buying it. And we keep pushing and we keep pushing and we keep demanding answers and we keep demanding justice en masse. Well, then we'll end up with a very different result. I'm not sure what you think, folks. I get the feeling that could be part of it. It's a test. Well, hopefully we'll pass it. Thank you very much for watching and...
Well, we all know my view on it. We don't let it rest, we don't let it go away. Like, we leave it in the past, but we leave them in the past with it. We do create two worlds where theirs eats itself. We let them be the victims of their own undoing. Go and eat yourselves. Go and eat each other. We do not care. It's probably the best thing that could happen to them. Dump them on it. Dump them off like a cock on a rock and call them a thing. And we just move on without them. We don't let them interact with our world, with our society, with our communities. They are not deserving of it. They are not deserving of the steam off my poo-poo on a frosty morning out in the grass for all I care. Like, this is... Okay, I'll put it bluntly, I wouldn't give them the steam off me shit. It's absolutely spot on. There's no point poking at it. You'll get stink finger when you play with shit. Right? Then you got to go wash your hands because otherwise you get it all over yourself. You know, like it's you step in dog poo and take it into the house. Now it's in the carpet. Now it's in the vacuum cleaner. Now you've got a germy vacuum cleaner. You know what I'm saying? You've taken it from out the front, through your house, out the back, into the garbage. But you've had to deal with it all yourself. You've had to clean it all yourself when you could have just taken your shoes off outside. Or not stepped in the shit in the first place. Stop it. Stop playing with shit. It's bad for you. Have a lovely day. Oh, yeah. Another video. It's all sorts around here.